Program Director, His Excellency President Jacob Zuma, Your Majesties, Your Highnesses, Your Excellencies, Heads of State and Government, Ministers, Leaders of Delegation, international and national dignitaries, members of the National Executive Committee of the ANC and its leagues, members of the South African government at all levels, fellow mourners. From north to south, from east, central and west, Africa is in mourning, together with the rest of the world, for the loss of its greatest. At the same time, they are celebrating the life of a gallant fighter, an ANC leader of the South African people as a whole, leader of the African people, and the rest of the world. We stand proud of you, Madiba, who represents the best Pan-African values of freedom, solidarity, service to the people, equality, sacrifice, and defense of the human dignity. Throughout his life, he lived these values in struggle, always willing to serve, prepared to listen and respect all views, including those that differed from his. His humanity, compassion, commitment, courage, and openness meant that working and engaging with him, or listening to him, talking to him, was always a lesson. At the same time, he could be resolutely firm and stand his ground, especially when it came to the defense of the oppressed and the poor. Madiba is part of the ranks of the eminent Pan-Africanist heroes and heroines whose commitment to the liberation and renaissance of Africa and to the equality and justice remained steadfast throughout their lives. As one of the young militants of the ANC Youth League in 1944, he said he understood that South Africa's struggles were closely linked to struggles of the oppressed people across Africa and indeed the world. And he said to the young youth leaguers in 1951 at their Congress, history is on the side of the oppressed. The growing Pan-African movement, the increasing number of independent African countries, and the unflinching support and solidarity of the struggles of those still under the yoke of oppression was a source of inspiration to him and his peers. It was this solidarity that Madiba counted on when he was sent by the ANC in 1962 to mobilize support for South Africa's turn to armed struggle. His campaign to mobilize support took him across the continent to Ethiopia, Egypt, Algeria, Tunisia, Guinea, Morocco, Mali, Sierra Leone, Liberia, Senegal, and many others. Wherever he went on our continent, doors were opened. He got military training and he got support for the struggle. When the apartheid regime banned our organization, arrested our leaders, our continent became home to freedom fighters from across Southern Africa. And of course, a number of those countries became targets from the regime: Botswana, Lesotho, Mozambique, Swaziland, Angola, Zimbabwe, and many others. Thus, when Madiba took his seat as the first democratic and non-racial president of South Africa at the OAU Summit of Heads of State and Government in 1994, he paid tribute to our common Pan-African struggles when he said, I quote, "We are here today not to thank dear brothers and sisters, because such thanks would be misplaced amongst fellow combatants. We are here to salute and congratulate you for the most magnificent and historical victory over an inhuman system whose very name was tyranny and injustice. When the history of our struggle is written, it will tell a glorious tale of African solidarity, of African adherence to principle. It will tell a story of sacrifice from the peoples of our continent, made to ensure that the intolerant insult of human dignity, the apartheid crime against humanity, became a thing of the past. Africa shed her blood and surrendered the lives of her children so that all her children could be free. She gave of her limited wealth and resources so that all of Africa should be liberated. During his presidency, Dr. Mandela championed peace and security on the continent and passionately campaigned for Africa's development and renaissance. Through a life of service and struggle, his relationship with all humanity, he shaped the history not only of South Africa and Africa, but also of the world. Today, as we bid farewell to this great Pan-Africanist hero, Africa recalls Madiba's words during his inauguration: "The time for the healing of the wounds has come. The moment to bridge the chasm that divide us has come. The time to build is upon us." On behalf of the African Union Commission, and indeed the people of Africa, we express our sincere condolences to Mark Russia, Mamu Winnie, the children, grandchildren, and the entire Madiba family, and to all South Africans. And we'd like to thank the Madiba family sincerely for surrendering him to the service of humanity. Tata, now that the tapestry of your beautiful but not easy life is complete, it is a mosaic of patriotism, Pan-Africanism, sacrifice, simplicity, compassion, reconciliation, discipline, and humility. It tells of a story of a person who hated oppression of one by another, a brilliant leader of the African National Congress, the father of modern South Africa, a fine son of Africa, and an icon of the world. Tata, we thank you for your countless sacrifices for us and for the rest of humanity. The lessons you've taught us, including that looking after your health is as important as your revolutionary duty, and also for graciously preparing us and assisting us to internalize your mortality. You have lived a beautiful life. You bequeathed us with a better world than the one you were born in. Tata, Africa shall be prosperous. Africa shall be integrated. Africa shall be at peace with itself. And Africa shall play a dynamic force in the world. Africa shall invest in its children, the youth and the women in particular. We thank you for having mentored us. You have taught us a lot. We are here today because of you. Hamba kahle tata, kawe la makawe. Of course we shall miss you, Tata, but you will know that you'll be watching over us and guiding us from God's celestial shores. You may now have your well-deserved rest. Let freedom reign. God bless Africa and the world. Hamba kahle tata, hamba kahle Matiba.